Okay, today's video is going to go over some F5 overhead patterns. I do have some previous T38 times, so I do remember these patterns. You can start out at 300 knots here, or you can request close after you land, and if approved, you can climb up to here. Here is 1500 feet AGL on the pattern I'm doing. The pattern's going to be at about 6,000, so the ground was, I believe, 4,400, so it rounds off to 6,000 when you add 500 feet. Here's, so we'll go through the points. 1, come down, decelerate down to 200 knots here, get your gear down, either in the closed pattern or in that, check the green lights. The F5 has auto brake, auto flap, so just leave that on. And then get trimmed up here. I'm very rushed at this part. I usually don't hit here. And then this point here is a 45-degree line off the end of the runway, 1,500 feet high, gear down, flaps on. You set something on your airspeed indicator. Simple way, here's a complicated formula, but the simple way I do it, if I have gun ammo, no gun ammo, I start with 145. Gun ammo, I add 150. And if I have gun ammo, I look at the average of the two needles on the fuel gauge, and wherever the middle of it is, I take that number, let's say it's 2,200, and I subtract 500, which gives me 1,700, and then I divide by 10, so I'll add 17 knots, which would be a 167 final approach speed. I'll do another quick example. Suppose the average was 1,000. See, I'm using the average. They're using the total. The average was 1,000. Subtract 500 from that, gives you, and 500 for reserves. That gives you 500 divided by 10. That's 10 knots. So that would be 1,000 minus 500 is 500, so that'd be 5 knots, so that'd be 155. And then you should be at final approach speed with a low vertical velocity, and then flare out about 10 degrees, nose up, full burners, raise your nose 10 degrees. When you see a positive rate of climb, pick up your gear, request close. If it's approved, pick up, slow down here, go to idle, speed brake, whatever you need. So okay, so I'll start showing the video, and at the end I have some track IR stuff. If you want to stick around and watch it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. So let me go to our let me kill this window here, and we'll start this right here. This was previously streamed live, so I'm just going to leave the comments. I'm commenting as I fly it. Okay, we're going to have to work fast. Get the speed brakes out. Get the speed brakes are down here. Oh, wrong button. Speed brakes are over here. Let's look up at, oh man, we messed up that pattern. We turned in too soon. We'll try that one real long runway, but this is going to be a kludge landing. Let's see what we can do. And we got a huge, and doing all that, we lost power. Get those speed brakes in. We're in trouble here. Better get wings level and hope we can power through this. Yeah, we did. Okay. Got wings level and just powered through it. That was very dangerous. That would be real dangerous in real life. I needed to go further out, but I didn't know where I was because I paused the stream. Drop frames. Okay. We're not dropping too many. Okay, here's the runway. I'm going to try to fly over it. And then we will, let's fly over this long runway. Let's do this long runway here. But I don't know if there's room to clear the mountains on this long runway. But we never, did we pick up our gear? No. There we go. We oversped the gear a little bit. Not too bad. Okay, so over here, we're going to turn over here. We're going to pitch up about 20 degrees. Cut throttles to idle. Get some G on the. Get some G. Drop gear at 270. slowly feed in power, see where we are. Okay, we're going downwind on the runway on the left, and we're way too high, I bet. Yeah, we're at 9,000 feet. Yeah, let's get to power, and we're way too fast. Okay, hitting the wrong buttons. So there, let's get that speed. Well, we still got to come down. So we got we're on speed, but okay, we got 900 more feet. Let's get over here. Okay, let's trim this bad. It should be. I should be having to push down. Okay, now I shouldn't be having to push down right now. It's good. We're there. We passed it. Passed it. Now we're slow, and now we got to make up our mistake because we didn't intercept our speed. Okay, let's get our nose up and lose that airspeed. Let's get back to. Okay, that's where we want to be. Is right at that altitude, right about that. And now let's look over and see our spacing. We got to fly a lot more to get spacing for that. There we go. Okay, so we're right on. We're not. See, I'm not getting the thing set. It should be. It should right here be trimmed up, and I should be trimmed up and just waiting to check, and that's not happening. So I got to practice it. And probably the best thing is just to practice it. I can do it at slow speed here, but I'm not doing it at slow speed just to show off. But okay, so when we're about 45 degrees off that perch, where it's time to come in. Okay, we're trimmed up now. There, and when that runway's 45 degrees off, I don't have time to explain that right now. Things are going to happen fast. And then we'll pull through this turn, and it seems to be dropping too much. I probably want to keep it in the green. It's just how hard I pull is my AOA. Green, red. And I want to start transitioning to the about, there we go, about 165. Yeah, that's the speed I want to be. Let's look up and see where the runway is. We're going for the close one. So let's pull a little bit more, look at that thing. Yeah, so we'll make up for this. As long as we don't stall it. There we go. There we go. So we overshot the runway a little bit. Get our speed brakes out. Okay, and now the only thing that's off is we got too big of a sink rate. So we'll transition that out of there. Get a couple of back trims. Yeah, our speed's right. Our speed's right, but our sink rate's too big, so we need more power. Our sink rate's still too high. Our sink rate's our vertical velocity. Okay, so our sink rate's coming down. It lags, so you can't. Need a little more. Oh, we're just right on the edge of flying it. And we bounced. But we hurt the aircraft on that one. Let's hope we can take off. Oh shit. That was not good. Not a good, not good. Wrong button for pause. Let's check our, is our gear broken? Break our gear, I bet we did. We're picking up our gear right now, so see if it picks up. Let's get that gear out as fast as we can to see if it's broken. We'll check it. Okay, I gotta get back to work, so we'll just finish this up and go. Forward view. We'll try one more. That's it. Let's get this thing off to the side. I'm tired of looking at that thing. Hit this so it's back in the, should be a pointer. Oh, it won't be a pointer while I'm in head tracking. Okay. Okay, come out of this, and we got Got a lot of forward stick in. Gears up. Just get in line with the runway. Let's make a turn. Take out our burners and just do a mil power turn. We're pretty much there, so we're high. Here we go. Our nose, there we go. Let's get our power out. Get our gear down. Okay, slow down. Slow down. Should be slowing down. That's why you're pushing forward. Be slowing down. That means we got too much power in. There we go. Catch that. Catch that airspeed. There we go. We're perfect. We lined up with it. There. We're right at final turn speed. There. So we just got to go past the perch here. Are we climbing a little bit? No. It just seems a lot higher. We are climbing a little bit. There we go. There we go. Oh man, see that thing loses airspeed so fast. Here we go. Let's just put it at 80 and see where that looks like. And at the same time, we got to be evaluating our position here. We want to be at 200. Oh gosh, now we're low, and we're low. That's not a low, and slow is not good to be. You can't trade one for the other. So, but we're no longer low. The throttles are at 80. Let's put this thing up at, where is that? Why is it not working? Damn thing. Okay. We're going to start our final turn now. This time I'm not going to lower the nose that much. See, I don't know why that thing. We need a little powerful. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this final turn. I don't know why we got. I shouldn't have to go on burner to do the final turn. See where the runway is. There it is. We still overshot it. I'm still not able to make it without overshooting. I got a massive sink rate. That's the speed I want to be. Is the runway on the left or the right? Let's say the right. It's further away. I thought it was the left, but okay. I want to be level flight right.
We made the final turn way too late,
a little bit
so
slow.
we're waiting to again coming in from the back. I'll make
How
little
much fuel we
comments
got?
over
A
the
little bit
live stream.
slow. There we go. Let's bring it back.
We did that. We should have turned a long time
We're
ago.
gonna go right. You can't see that other runway.
During
I
this,
think
I
I'm
am
on the far one, but
I'll
this
put
other one,
comment
the
over it.
resolution so small on it. Oh, we're fast. We don't want to be fast. We just toggle our brakes out. Okay. See how our trim is. Okay, let's be aggressive and get this thing lined up quick. We won't have much time to do it. Get the power out. Let's get it right at 80. Just take small movements. You really have to get used to what you're. Really have to know where to go to with everything. Because things just happen too fast in this plane. To not know, it's not time to think. Not time to think.
Some poor rudder control coming up, but I pulled it
That
out.
was a good landing. So get the power in, get the speed brakes off. Okay, hopefully I streamed that one. And then when this thing passes right here, we go up.
Whoops is the next pattern.
Pop
that
up
I
the
messed
gear.
up my rudders.
We'll do one last pattern, and then I gotta go. Yep, one last pattern. Gears up. 20 degrees nose up. Just cut our power out of afterburner. This time we won't overshoot our altitude. We're just going to 6,000 feet. There we go. You get gear down. Gear down. Okay, we're a little bit fast, but we're losing airspeed like we're supposed to. We're a little bit high. We're high and fast, and we got to finish out the turn. Oh, gear down. Wrong gear. There we go. Power. We're late getting power in. There. So we just. There we go. We'll probably need to click forward to trim. Okay. Get more power in. Take that out. Take the speed brakes out. I don't know if. So there it is. There's a runway. Need to turn a little bit more. Probably not get enough spacing on the runway. We'll fly outward a little bit. I don't feel like I'm getting enough spacing. Let's trade some of that airspeed for trade some of that airspeed for altitude. There we go. There. Okay. We're right there, so that's going to be a tough. We'll have to just do it fast. That's where it's supposed to be. Okay, just keep it right in the green. And now let's say you should at the end of the final turn. And then you keep this right here. So we're halfway down. Look, see, it never makes it through. I need more. If I pull it more, it goes into the G limiter, but okay. Yeah, see, I'm not making that final turn. I thought I had good spacing. I don't know. I don't have that final turn down right. It's because they should be coming right on the runway. Okay, well. And now we're making up for our mistakes, screwing up the airspeed. Get those engines. Will those still? When the engines get down to 50%, they won't. Let's kill the sink rate. Let's hope the sink rate's killed. We'll just look at how fast the needle's moving down. There. I think we're all set up. There, we'll keep our nose up a little. Shouldn't be using that. Oh, we do have a sink rate right now. Get some rudder in. Some rudder in. I'm not used to where my rudder pedals are positioned. I'm not used to where these rudder pedals are. They're real hard to do. They're set up for helicopters, not for airplanes. Pull myself in closer to them. There. Do some toe braking. There we go. See what the external view looks like as we're stopping. Oh, what's that? That's not my external. The wrong thing. That's the other airplane. Okay, we're going slow enough we can. There, that's me. Okay. Put the speed brakes up. There we go. There, we landed it. Hopefully I got that stream. Let's see if it's still streamed. And then I gotta go. I gotta get back to work. It says I got 3 viewers. Thanks for watching. Okay. Let's see. Thanks for watching. Okay, this is the pattern work done. After this, F5. I'm going to talk about the track IR on my head and how it works. Huey. These patterns are kind of poor. It's the first one I streamed, so I was trying to talk while I was doing the pattern. HeadTracker. I had new gear. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this HeadTracker. Well, I'll show it to you here. See, let me get back to it and see. Look, I can look down. If I can look to the side. You saw me checking the runway. I just have to build the patterns of looking with my eyes sometimes, getting it right. I have zoom mapped on my HOTAS. I can zoom in on stuff, and probably to set switches, I'm gonna have to I have this button set to freeze the head tracker, so I can come in and set a switch. You know, see, that's my altimeter. This over here was your. Couple of things I never mentioned. Why this? If you set the runway heading in right here with this course, if you spin that, it'll give you it gives you that little arrow to kind of tell if you're lined up with it. This is the, if you turn this knob here, you can adjust this. You're supposed to put your final approach speed, the number you calculate, and I never said your final turn. And in the pattern, you're supposed to be 20 knots higher. I said that's the ground's at 4,200, so I guess instead of at 1,500, I should have been at 5,700, not 6,000. That's close enough. Most of those I didn't arrive at the 45 degree off the runway. That's called the perch at the right place. But anyway, yeah, I'll go back to stream here. I just wanted to mention that right there. You can set in or just remember the heading of the runway. And yeah, that's it. That's the speed you want to be at on the final turn. We'll take that off, and I'll show you here how it works. I've got to get used to it. It is, I think it's for every 100 pounds of fuel you add a knot. So when you add up, these are two different gauges. Look at where they're. I forgot you have to subtract off 1,000 reserves. So since I'm using the average, I should have been subtracting off 5 knots or 500. So subtract off for this gauge, the average is about 1,000. Subtract off 500 for reserves, so we would add 5 knots to 150 to get a 155 final approach speed. The middle position, and that would be, I've got 1,000 pounds of fuel, so that would add 10 knots. So 10 knots, starts at 145, and if you have gun ammo, you add 5 knots. That's 150, so we had 10 knots there, so it should have been at 160. I was saying it's high. It should have been here, and I should have been landing on final approach at that speed, and it should have been on the. I don't know if I said this, but you're holding the proper AOA. I don't know what it is, but I know this gauge up here, if it's yellow, you're too fast, and if it's green, you're on perfect speed, and if it's red, you're approaching stall. So if it's yellow, you pull back on the stick or put in power to get your airspeed up. And if it's green, you're fine. And if it's red, you put power in and lower your nose. I'll go back to thing. The final turn at that speed. So I'm just knowing where I should be. That's 110, and this thing will blink. When you're on speed, that'll blink green. If you're going too fast, it'll blink yellow. If you're too slow, which is bad, it'll blink red. And I'm right on the edge of being on red. I'm still not making the final turn. So the slower you go, the better turn rate you got, the more you pull, but both of them will make that go red. So I must need more spacing. I don't know, or more sync rate, but I'm starting out at 1,500 feet, so whatever. But you can tell things are happening fast. You have to be trimmed up, and things are just so fast on this that I think I should practice it on half speed, and then right when I come out of the final turn, get on normal speed so I can keep my landing stuff. I don't build bad habits landing, but in the final turn and all this setup, practice it on half speed, and then and I see I can also look up, look to the side, check 6 behind me, check 6, check check off the wing. So that's pretty good head tracking. It stays on. The only time it doesn't really stay real well is I've got the looking down mapped. Well, that stays pretty well if I just learn to have it, and then I have it get real steep, right there. The software is Open Track, and PlayStation Camera has. I didn't really. So I'm just going to show this real quick. Okay. Let's put this on, and then I got to go. Let me show how this works. I'll turn on the big camera. Okay, so I'm going to pause the game so it quits making me dizzy. What button is that? This. Okay, so over that is a PlayStation camera, and that's running the HeadTracker. You can get those for about $10. That's a green, blue, and yellow, just colored, if they call it gel, but it's just colored plastic sheets. That's the filter, and I taped it to cardboard to I cut up toilet paper rolls, and that's my normal Logitech cam. And then the HeadTracker I showed you, if you can see the little lights glowing a little bit when you couple of comments I want to make. The Logitech camera in the middle up higher, the one that's up higher, that's just what I use to stream with. But the one on your, I believe is right, the one that does a PlayStation camera, and you have to add some filter sheets to it. I have another video I'll put up about how to make that whole HeadTracker thing. Something I didn't say is the F5 is a hard plane to do those. It's a harder plane to fly than a F-15, 16, 18 in terms of flying, not avionics, but it doesn't have a heads-up display, and those modern planes have a heads-up display with a velocity vector that shows you exactly where you're going. You really have to remember, kind of know your power settings you need, and your windshield attitudes you need, and your angle. But if you have a more modern plane and you're doing these patterns, it'll be much easier. Just put that velocity vector on the horizon for level flight and put it slightly down in the final turn, and then when you get out of the final turn, put it on the end of the runway and adjust your speed as necessary. And you won't have a lot of cross controls as long as you can. It'll be pretty easy to fly. It's a lot harder on F5. You have to kind of have a feel for that. So that's the only comment. But if you're doing not the F4, I don't think the F14 has a velocity vector. But I don't think you know your airspeed on the F14. But on the F-15, the F-16, the F-18, and most of the Russian planes are going to have a heads-up display with a velocity vector that tells you where you're going, with some lag, but you shouldn't have that much lag if you have that velocity vector. And then just if your airspeed's high, pull back on your throttle and maintain that velocity vector on the end of the runway, and you'll be fine. If you're high, if you're low, VASI shows you're low, then just get higher, but keep that velocity vector there. If VASI shows you're high, those are those lights on the end of the runway. Then just lower down a little bit and maintain your airspeed. But it's a lot easier than in the F5, which is the T-38 that I have time with. The T-38 is a two-seat version of that without guns for training. I'll shut down the HeadTracker now and show you what it looks like when you open up the PlayStation thing. How am I going to find that here real quick? I'm not going to show you that, but you can see here. Well, you just got to set it up. There's a lot of. I'll make more on, if people are interested in things on how to set up. You set up the curves for the mapping here. So that's my yaw curve. So it goes smooth until at 25 degrees. Oh yeah, and it's mapping over to here. So 180 is flat. So it goes up to about 90 degrees, nice and slow, and then it goes steep up to the next 90 degrees. Pitch goes up slow to 90 degrees, increasing, and then stays there. And then but pitch down, it just goes to 50 because that's all I need to look down. And then I think I got roll turned off. I should have had roll turned off. I don't need to. Right now, the big things I need are pitch and yaw. And when I tried setting up, we'll start the HeadTracker again. When I tried setting up translation, it was pretty good. When I moved my head to the side, I could see the side, but it was tracking when I moved my head, is moving it to the side too. So, see that dead space I got in the center? That's the space where it won't move. I didn't say that clearly. In translation, it was working. They were showing up. But the problem was when I nodded my head like the word no, when I moved my head, rotate it side to side, which is when I'm looking to the side, it was showing up as translation. So I decided, and not all the time, but sometimes, so I took it out. It's not really critical. I can transition my head maybe if I played with the settings more, but so I'll go back. But I didn't say that clearly. The reason I took the translation out, which is moving your body side to side, is because when I rotated my head like the word no, that was showing up as translation too. I don't know why the software, I can look at the picture and tell the lights are moving differently when I nod my head than when I move my head. But whatever, software wasn't working for that. And I can adjust that to have that dead space smaller. I got a little bit of dead space in the center. I mean, think of it as using your head to give it commands to move your view. That's how I have it more set than trying to get immersion. It's pretty good, but I don't have to be hidden. Which, when things are happening fast, it's hard to find time to be adjusting views and getting back to center and stuff like that. The software, I've set it so it's looking for dots smaller than 5 pixels, but bigger than a half a pixel or so. Or yeah, that's so. These dots are coming in at 1.5. As it gets off angle, if I get it off enough, it'll lose the sensor. But I'm still not losing one. Should if I yaw enough. It's still keeping it, and I'm sitting in a lit room and stuff. It's working pretty good. So yeah, so that's my head tracking. So I'll do more later. I got to get back to work. Thank you for watching. Streaming DCS now, and I want to thank you if you watched it and sat through this. Okay, stop streaming. Oh, I didn't. I covered all that up when I went through it. Such an idiot. Let me not cover it up and do it again. Some of the HeadTracker stuff I sang. Okay, here's the HeadTracker. See, turn my head to the right. The way it works is you set up mapping curves. My yaw is it's symmetrical, and it basically stays smooth up to here. When you see it keep going back up, now it's on the bottom. I'm turning my head the other way, but and then when my head turns 25 degrees, which is about the edge of my monitor, this is right there. My head is turned just at the monitor's edge. It stops, and that's my check 6. So if I go just before the edge of the monitor, the other way. Yeah. It gets slow movement. Pitch, I've got more travel on the up. I want to see 90 degrees up, and that's all it lets you go up. So, and then I might want to steepen that. I might want to steepen it like have it go like this and then up, but we won't worry about that for now. And then when I go down, it goes down to only 60 degrees down. It stays pretty moderate the rest of the way, because that's when I'm looking at instruments. So yeah, that's my DCS. That's my head tracking setup, and I built this thing. I tried to make some videos of building it, but it's basically bought the 3 LEDs. It's listed on this. All the parts are listed here. That's the circuit. That's the parts. I want to add one more thing, software. And my HeadTracker takes usually forever to start up. I don't know why. Software. HeadTracker. I gotta see my desktop to do this. HeadTracker. CLI test. CLI test. Yes, HeadTrack. That's the software right there. CL-I test. CL-I test. Let's see if I can remember that. CL-I test. And what that does is we'll stop HeadTracker now. I mean, it'd probably keep them both going, but what? Dang it! It keeps going off the Windows. It's just a mess. I start out on Mac. See now that light doesn't matter because it's too big of a light source for it to see it. But see, this is it. Isn't that cool? Also, I've got it defined so that picks up that. Ooh, it's all to the. I'm surprised it even tracked because normally I must have put my hat on fast because normally at my center position I would be more like that. So let's see how I put my hat on. Well, must have moved on when I got the earphones on. I'll have to reset it, but it still worked. You know, still figured it out. I just hit center and it starts from there. So it seems to work good. Just I gotta get in the habit of using it. I've got a dead zone about like that, and then I can look over and command movements with my head. So that's cool. So thanks again. I'm